Okay, so next type of turbine which we are going to study is the Kaplan turbine. Now, what is Kaplan turbine? Kaplan turbine is a reaction turbine. It is a low head turbine. Low head turbine means the head is below 60 meter. Okay, it can be used for the water which is having below 60 meter head. Okay, it is a high specific speed turbine. The speed ranges from 300 to 1000. Okay, and most important, it is an axial turbine. Axial turbine. Axial turbine means if the water enters axially and it leaves the turbine axially. Axially means parallel to the axis of the turbine, parallel to the axis of shaft. Okay, now this is a low head turbine. Everywhere we cannot have water at high head, especially in summer season when we are having when the water level is very less. Okay, so at that time or at very low head, such turbine can be used. Kaplan turbine can be used. Okay, and these are also reaction turbine. That means the pressure energy is used in order to generate power. This is more or less, the functioning is more or less like a Francis turbine with a little difference. I will explain you how this functions. So here we have the Kaplan turbine. You can see here. Okay, now in this Kaplan turbine also we have the blades, guide blades. These are the guide blades. This is the water inlet from the penstock. The water is coming from the penstock. Just remember Francis turbine. I will tell you the difference where the difference is. Okay, so the water is entering through the penstock. The pressure energy is converted into kinetic energy. This is entering with the help of guide vanes. Okay, this is passing through the guide vanes. Now, after passing through guide vane, it will now enter the blades. It will now enter the vanes of the turbine. But the difference is that here the vanes, the runner vanes and the guide blades are not at the same level. They are at different level. Okay, because in this it has to enter axially. Now, why is this axial turbine? Now, there is one more reason why is this axial turbine. Now, as I told you, this has to be used for low heads only. This turbine is used for low head which is having head below 60 meter. Now, what is the disadvantage of using with low head? We know what water power, the available water power is what? Rho g QH. It means this water power is directly proportional to Q into H. Okay. Now, if the head is less, obviously this Q has to be more, then only we can have sufficient water power. Otherwise the water power will affect. So if we are using it under low head, obviously this Q has to be very high. And for this high Q, two things are essential. First thing, the water should pass axially. Okay, because when the water passes axially, the discharge is very high. First thing. Second thing, the number of blades, because the number of blades are also affecting the flow, as we have seen in the Francis turbine also. The number of blades has to be very less. Okay, so in this Kaplan turbine, the number of blades we are using is 3 to 8. Okay, in Francis turbine, this is in Kaplan turbine. In Francis turbine, as I told you, the number of blades we used was 16 to 24. Okay, here the number of blades should be less. Why? Because the discharge has to be more. Second thing, for having high discharge, what we are doing is we are making this an axial turbine. That means the water will enter axially and will exit axially, so that the discharge can be high. Okay, so here the water is getting inside with the help of this guide vanes. Okay, these guide vanes are actually guiding this water to the hub. Now, after these are the vanes, this is the side view, this is the top view of the turbine. You can see the side view here. Okay, you can see the blades here. These blades are these are the guide blades. Okay, now after passing through the guide blades, it will now enter into the hub. It will now enter into the runner. Okay, and the runner, as I told you, is not at the same level, will be below that of this guide vanes. Okay, you can see here this is the top view, so you will not see the level difference here. From top it will look like this, no doubt. Okay, but you can see the level difference here. The guide are at this axis and the turbine and the runner is at this axis. Okay, so this runner is located at a different axis, is located below that of the guide vanes. So once the water is passing through the guide vanes, then it will drop onto the runner, it will drop onto the blades of the turbine, and it will rotate those blades, and finally it will rotate the shaft, and from this shaft we can generate power with the help of generator. Getting this or not? So this is the complete principle of this Kaplan turbine. Okay. Now how much discharge will be there? So the discharge Q, what will be the value of Q here? Okay, so this Q here, the water is passing through this gap, this complete gap. Okay, so this Q will be equal to what? This will be the area, which is pi by 4 into d outer square minus d hub square. Okay, outer diameter, I will show you here. This is outer diameter, d outer, and this is the hub diameter, d hub. Okay, so the effective area here is how much? Pi by 4 d outer square minus d hub square into velocity of flow Vf. Getting this or not? Okay, so this is how this Kaplan turbine works, and this will be the value of discharge, pi by 4 d outer square, where do is the outer diameter and dh is the hub diameter. Okay, and hub diameter is also called as Boss diameter. Okay, so in Kaplan turbine, very important thing, water enters axially, that means parallel to the axis of the shaft, and it leaves axially, again parallel to the axis of shaft. Okay, now similar is the propeller turbine. One more turbine is there which is called as the propeller turbine. This is the Kaplan turbine, and then we have a propeller turbine. Everything is same in the propeller turbine, except the difference that in Kaplan turbine the blades, the runner blades can be adjusted according to the power. Okay, we can adjust the runner blades according to the power. Okay, so it is having the better part efficiency. But in propeller turbine, this runner blades are fixed in the sense they cannot be adjusted according to the flow or according to the power. Okay, so obviously Kaplan turbine is much better for the part load, but similar is the propeller turbine. Everything is same for propeller turbine as well. Okay, now I will now show you the velocity triangle and the power developed in this turbine. Okay, so we have these blades. Now what actually is happening in this turbine? इसमें हो क्या रहा है देखो. Same thing as I told you in the Francis turbine. When the water is entering through this, obviously it will having a swirl motion. Okay, this casing is actually producing, casing and guides together are producing swirl motion, and high kinetic energy water is delivered to this blades, to this runner. Okay, so it is having certain swirl motion, that means it is having a whirl velocity, suppose like this. In this direction, the tangential velocity, whirl velocity Vw is in the tangential direction. Now at the same time, when this water is dropping, okay, it is dropping with the velocity Vf. Okay, flow velocity, जिस velocity से flow हो रहा है, okay, that velocity is Vf. Okay, so finally the velocity will be like this. This is V1. Okay, this is having two component, as we know. First is flow velocity Vf, and second is whirl velocity Vw1. Getting this now? Okay, now same thing we can do here. We will be having Vr1. Okay, now the horizontal component of this V1 is nothing but Vw1. Sorry, I have already told you. Horizontal component is Vw1, vertical component is Vf1. This angle is alpha 1, this angle is beta 1. Okay, so same velocity triangle we will get here as in the case of Francis turbine. Okay, and at exit also the whirl velocity will be made 0. Okay, and finally we will get the velocity triangle like this. For 0 whirl velocity, this is V2, which is equal to Vf2. Okay, this angle is nothing but alpha 2, sorry, beta 2. This is nothing but U2. Okay, and in this case also U1 will be equal to U2. Now why is this U1 equal to U2? I will tell you, because suppose this is our blade, okay, and the water is entering, suppose at this point, okay, and it is also living at this point. That means at same diameter, at almost same diameter, the water is entering and leaving, okay. And finally the velocity u is equal to pi dn by 60. It depends on diameter only. So if the diameter is same, obviously u has to be same, okay. So in this case also u1 is equal to u2. This is another difference as compared to the Francis turbine. There u1 was not equal to 0, but in this case this u1, this will be u1, this u1 will be equal to u2, okay. Rest everything will be same. Power developed, because this VW2 here is also 0, so power developed will be what? M into VW1 into U1, okay. Efficiency will be equal to VW1 U1 divided by G into H, okay. Q will be equal to A into VF, which is we have already discussed, pi by 4 d outer square minus d inner square into VF. Now flow ratio Kf is equal to Vf upon root 2 GH, okay. Speed ratio is equal to U1 upon root 2 GH, okay, where this U1 is the tangential velocity. This U1 is taken as tangential velocity of the tip of the runner, okay. We are taking this velocity as the tip velocity, okay. This U1 is tangential velocity of tip of the runner, okay. So this is all about Kaplan turbine, very simple. Most of the things are same as that of the Francis turbine. The only difference comes in the discharge. Second thing, the flow is axial. This is an axial flow turbine. Water enters and leaves axially. The power developed is same, the efficiency is same, okay. Q is different. Getting this now? Okay, so now we will solve one question for this Kaplan turbine. Okay, so the question says a Kaplan turbine produces 25 megawatt power under a head of 40 meter, okay. The power, shaft power is given as 25 megawatt, head is given as 40 meter. The blade tip diameter is 2.5 times the hub diameter. That means outer diameter is 2.5 times of inner diameter. Overall efficiency is given as 0.9. If the speed and flow ratio are given, which is speed ratio is Ku, which is 2, and flow ratio Kf is 0.6, okay. So we have to calculate first the tip diameter d outer, hub diameter d inner, okay, and the speed of turbine. Getting this or not? Okay. Now how can we solve this? So same thing, first we have to in order to determine this tip diameter and hub diameter, what we have to do is first we will determine the value of Q, okay. Now how can we determine this Q? So Q can be determined from overall efficiency, shaft power upon rho g QH, okay. Just put the value. Overall efficiency is given as 0.9, shaft power is 25 megawatt into 10 raised power 6 watt divided by rho g 9810 into Q, which we have to determine, into H, which is 40. So from here this Q will be equal to 70.8 meter cube per second. Getting this? Now this Q, as we know, will be equal to pi by 4 d outer square minus d inner square into Vf. Getting this now? Okay. Now Vf we can determine easily. How? Vf is equal to Kf root 2 GH. Just determine Vf from here. So this will be Kf, which is 0.6 root 2 9.81 into H is 40. So this Vf from here will be equal to, okay, 16.8 meter per second. Okay, so the Vf from here will be equal to 16.8 meter per second. Getting this now? Okay, second thing, d outer is given as 2.5 times of d inner. Okay, so just put the value. So from here this Q, which is 70.8, is equal to pi by 4 d outer is 2.5 d inner square minus d inner square into Vf, which is 16.8. Okay, so from here we can get the value of this d inner or hub diameter. This will be equal to 1.01 meter. Getting this? And d outer is equal to 2.5 times of d inner. So d outer diameter will be equal to 2.52 meter. Getting this or not? Okay. Now next thing we have to determine, we have determined the value of tip diameter and hub diameter. Next is the speed of turbine. Okay, so for determining speed, obviously this, for speed what we can do is we can put the formula u1 is equal to pi d naught n by 60. Okay, in this formula, as I told you, u1 is taken as the tangential velocity. So this this velocity, tangential velocity at the outer tip, u1. Okay, so how can you determine this u1? So this u1 is equal to ku under root of 2gh. Okay, now just put the value. This is 2 under root of 2 into 9.81 into head is 40 meter. So this will be equal to 56.03 meter per second. Okay, so just put the value. So this will be 56.03 is equal to pi into d outer, we have already determined, which is 2.52 meter into 2.52 into n divided by 60. So from here this n will be equal to 424.6 rpm. Answer. Getting this now? Okay, so this is how we can solve the questions of this Kaplan turbine. Okay, next is the specific speed. Now what is the specific speed of turbine? The specific speed of turbine is the speed of the geometrically similar turbine which under unit head will produce unit power. Okay, that means if we are having a geometrically similar turbine, हमारे turbine की तरह एक geometrically similar turbine इस तरीके का है, such that it is developing unit power 1 kilowatt power develop कर रहा है under 1 meter of head, then the speed of that geometrically similar turbine is nothing but specific speed. Okay, speed of the geometrically similar turbine which develops unit power under unit head. Okay, so how can we define this? So this is specific speed ns is equal to n root p upon h raised power 5 by 4. Okay, that means the speed of turbine which under unit head h is equal to 1 meter, when h is equal to 1 meter and p is equal to 1 kilowatt, then ns is equal to n. Okay, that means geometrically similar turbine की speed जो कि unit head में unit power produce कर रहा है. Okay, we can also define this specific speed as ns is equal to n root q upon h raised power 3 by 4. Okay, these two are same expressions. This is in terms of q. That means specific speed is the speed of geometrically similar turbine which under unit head is producing unit discharge. Okay, जिसमें discharge कितना है 1 meter cube per second और जिसका head है, the head at which it is working is 1 meter. तो speed of that turbine which under unit head will produce unit discharge is nothing but the specific speed. Okay, so this is how we can define this specific speed. Speed of geometrically similar turbine which under unit head produces unit power. Getting this? Here P is in kilowatt, H is in meter. Here Q is in meter cube per second and H is in meter. Getting this? Okay, and I told you during specification the specific speed of different turbines. First is the Pelton wheel turbine. Now if it is having single jet, the specific speed lies between 10 to 30, and if it is having multi-jet, the specific speed lies between 30 to 60. Okay. Next is the Francis turbine. The specific speed of this Francis turbine lies between 60 to 300, and last is the Kaplan turbine. The specific speed of this Kaplan turbine lies between 300 to 1000. Getting this now? Okay. Now, from dimensional analysis, we get three numbers. Okay, these three numbers are very, very important. First is the head number, which is equal to h divided by n square d square. Second is the discharge number, which is equal to q divided by n d cube, and third is the power number, which is equal to p divided by n cube d raised power 5. Okay, head number is h, which is head, divided by n square d square, then we have discharge number Q divided by N dq, and then we have power number P divided by N cube d raised power 5. Now what is the significance of this number? Now if we are having the geometrically similar model, if we are having suppose the prototype of a certain turbine, then for that prototype and for the original model, these three numbers are same. For prototype and for original model, these three numbers are same, and let's suppose M is taken as our model and P is taken for our prototype, okay, and such that dm by dp, that means diameter of the model, original model, divided by diameter of prototype, this is nothing but scale, okay. Now these three numbers should be same, okay, that means this hm by nm square dm square, this should be equal to, for prototype, hp by np square dp square. Similarly, discharge number qm by nm dm cube should be equal to qp by np dp cube, and power number pm by nm cube dm raised power 5 should be equal to pp by np cube dp raised power 5. Okay, so these three are very important, especially in solving numerical for model and prototype. These three numbers are equal. Getting this or not? Very, very important thing. Now next is the unit quantities. Another important terminology, unit quantity. Okay, now what are unit quantities? If the same turbine is working under unit head, then the quantities which we are getting is unit quantity. That means if the power which we are getting is unit power, the speed we are getting is unit speed, the discharge we are getting is unit discharge. Okay, again I will repeat it. If the same turbine is working under unit head, okay, in this case, in the case of a specific speed, we were having a completely different turbine which is geometrically similar turbine, but here the turbine is same, the dimensions of the turbine are same, and that is working under unit head. So when the same turbine is working under unit head, the quantities which we are getting are unit quantities. That means this is our suppose original turbine, the power developed is P, discharge is Q, head is H, and speed is N. Okay, now if the same turbine having same dimensions, okay, if it is working under unit head, that means the head is equal to 1 meter, then the power developed is unit power Pu, the head is unit head, sorry, not the head, the speed is unit speed Nu, and the discharge is unit discharge Qu. Just remember this thing. If the same turbine is working under unit head, then the quantities are called as unit quantities. Okay, now we will determine first the unit speed. Okay, again we will equate the head number h by n square d square. Okay, this should be equal to, now for having the unit quantity, for having the unit speed, obviously this head has to be 1 meter, the diameter will be same, as I told you, the diameter should be same and head should be 1 meter, then the speed we are getting is what? Nu. Okay, now h by n square d square, this will be equal to head is 1 meter divided by Nu square into d square. Getting this or not? Okay, so from here we can have unit speed which will be equal to n. Okay, this d square will get cancelled out, divided by root of h. Okay, so the value of this unit speed is equal to n by root h. Getting this or not? Okay, similarly we can have unit discharge. Okay, now what is unit discharge? Same thing, Q by Nd cube. Okay, now Q will be equal to Qu, unit discharge, N will be taken as nu, okay, into d cube. Getting this? Okay, now this d will get cancelled out. Now this nu can be written as what? This will be equal to qu divided by this nu can be written as n by root h, okay, or you can say this nu by n is equal to 1 by root of h, okay. So this qu is equal to q into nu by n, so this will be q by root of h, okay. So this unit discharge is equal to q by root h. Getting this? Unit speed was n by root h, unit discharge is q by root h, okay. Next is unit power. Now what is unit power? Okay, same thing we have to do. Power number, which is p by n cube d raised power 5 is equal to pu by nu cube du raised power 5, okay, or you can say this pu is equal to this d and du will be cancelled out, diameter is same, this pu will be equal to p divided by n raised power this pu will be equal to p into nu cube divided by n cube, okay. Now what is this nu by n? Nu by n is 1 by root h, okay. So this nu by n can be written as 1 by root h, this will be p by root h whole cube, or you can say p divided by h raised power 3 by 2, okay. So from here this unit power pu is equal to p by h raised power 3 by 2, that's it, okay. So three important quantities, unit quantities, unit speed nu is n by root h, unit discharge qub is q by root h, and unit power pu is equal to p by root h. Getting this now? Okay. Now we will solve one question. Okay. Now from dimensional analysis we get three numbers, three very important numbers. So from dimensional analysis, we get three number. The very first number is the head number, okay, and this head number is equal to h by n square d square, okay. Second is discharge number, which is equal to q by n d cube, and third is the power number, which is equal to p by n cube d raised power 5, okay. Head number h by n square d square, discharge number q by n d cube, and power number p by n cube d raised power 5, okay. So these are the three numbers, very important number. Now the significance of these numbers are that if we are having the original turbine, which is called as a prototype, and if we are making a model out of it, a small model we are making, so for the model and for the prototype all these numbers remain same. For the model and for prototype these numbers will remain same, okay. And the ratio of the diameter of model to diameter of prototype, this is called as scale, okay. And obviously this scale will be less than 1 because model will be small, generally is less than 1 because model is small and prototype is big, okay. Now these numbers are same. Now what does this mean? This means that hm by nm square dm square is equal to hp by np square dp square, where hm, nm and dm are head, speed and diameter of model, a small model, and hp, np and dp are head, speed and diameter of the prototype, that means of original turbine, okay. Similarly qm by nm dm cube is equal to qp by np dp cube, and pm by nm cube dm raised power 5 is equal to pp by np cube dp raised power 5, okay. So these are three numbers which remains same for the three types of for model and for prototype. Getting this? Okay, now we will solve one question. A Francis turbine of 3 meter diameter develops 6750 kilowatt. Okay, diameter of the Francis turbine, that means for prototype, for original turbine diameter is 3 meter and the power developed by prototype is 6750 kilowatt and N for prototype is 300 rpm. Okay, and the head is 45 meter. A similar model of scale ratio 1:8. Okay, scale ratio is given as 1:8, that means D model by D prototype is given as 1:8, is to be tested under a head of 9 meter, that means for model head is given as 9 meter. Estimate size, speed, discharge and power developed by the model. Assume overall efficiency of both model and prototype to be same and is equal to 0.82. Overall efficiency is also given, which is equal to 0.82. Okay, so we have to determine the speed, discharge and power developed. Okay, so how can we determine? So same thing, what we can do is we can equate these numbers, the head for head and the head number, the discharge number and power number, and with that we can determine this. How? First of all, let us equate the head number. So we will get what? Hm by Nm square dm square is equal to Hp by Np square dp square. Okay, now further this can be written as what? This Hm is given as 9 meter divided by Nm square into dm square is equal to Hp for prototype head is 45 divided by Np. Okay, now what is this Np? Np is given as 300, this is 300 square into dp. Now what is this dp? From here this dp is equal to 8 times of dm. Okay, so this will be 8 dm whole square. Okay, now from here we can determine the value of this, so this dm square will be cancelled out. Okay, and from here we can determine the value of this Nm, which will be equal to 1073.3 rpm. Okay, so this is how we can determine the speed of the model. Getting this? Okay, next is to determine the discharge. Okay, now how to determine the discharge? Now before discharge we will determine the power by equating power number. Okay, so power number says P by n cube d raised power 5 for model should be equal to P by n cube d raised power 5 for prototype. Okay, now just put the values. So here Pm, which we want to determine, divided by Nm. Nm we have already determined as 1073.3 cube into dm raised power 5. Okay, this will be equal to pp. Pp is given as 6750. This is in kilowatt, so this will be in kilowatt, divided by n cube, np cube. Okay, np is 300 into dm, which is equal to dp, which is equal to 8 times of dm raised power 5. Okay, so dm here will be cancelled out and we will get what? This pm will be equal to 9.42 kilowatt. Getting this? Okay, now next is to determine the discharge. Okay, so for discharge, for determining discharge, we don't have the discharge of prototype. So first thing would be to get the discharge of prototype, and for that, as I told you, in order to get the discharge, because we have the overall efficiency, so this will be equal to shaft power divided by rho g qh. Okay, so just put the value. Overall efficiency is given as 0.82, shaft power is given as 6750 kilowatt into 10 to the power 3 divided by rho g 9810 into q of prototype, which we want to determine, into head of prototype. Okay, head is given as 45 meter. Okay, so from here this qp will be equal to 18.64 meter cube per second. Getting this? Okay, now this is the qp, but we want to determine the value of qm. Okay, so again using this discharge number, which is q by nd cube. Okay, so this will be q by nd cube for model is equal to q by nd cube for prototype. Just put the value. For prototype, q is 18.64 divided by n of prototype is 300. Okay, and d of prototype can be written as 8 times of d of model q this is equal to Q model, which we want to determine, divided by N model, which is 1073.3 into D model Q. D model Q will be cancelled out, and we will get what? Qm is equal to 0.13 meter cube per second. Okay, very simple. Okay, so this is how we can determine different quantities for model. Getting this? Okay, next question says a turbine develops 8000 kilowatt when running at 1000 rpm. The head in turbine is 30 meter. If the head is reduced to 18 meter, the speed and power by the turbine is. Okay, so what is given in the question? The P1 is given as 8000 kilowatt. It is running at 1000 rpm. N1 is given as 1000 rpm. Okay, head H1 is given as 30 meter. Now, if the head is reduced to 18 meter, that means S2 is 18 meter. We have to determine N2 and P2. Okay, simple question. Now, in order to determine N2 and P2, what we can do is we can equate head number and power number. Okay, head number is H1 by N1 is square D1 is square is equal to S2 by N2 square D2 square. Okay, now the turbine is same, so diameter will remain same. That means D1 will be equal to D2. Okay, so this D1 and D2 will be cancelled out. Okay, so just put the value and get the value of N2. Okay, so from here this N2, put H1 is 30, N1 is 1000 square is equal to 18 by N2 square. So from here this N2 will be equal to 774.5 rpm. Getting this? Okay, now similarly, in order to determine power, just equate power number, which is P by and P1 by N1 cube D1 raised power 5 is equal to P2 by N2 cube D2 raised power 5. Okay, just equate this, we will get what we have the value of N2 now, N1 N2, D1 will be equal to D2. Okay, we have the value of P1, so from here this P2 will be equal to 3718 kilowatt. Answer. Getting this? Okay, now coming to the analysis of this draft tube. I told you about the importance of draft tube, what actually is the draft tube and why is it needed in the reaction turbine. I have already told you. Now we will look into the mathematical analysis of this draft tube. So we have this draft tube, you can see here. Okay, the distance between this the turbine casing and the tail race level is HS, and the draft tube opens at a distance further y from the HS, from the tail race. Getting this? Okay, now the very first thing, suppose this section is 2,2, this section is 3,3, and this section is suppose AA, which is atmosphere. Okay, now applying Bernoulli's equation between point 3 and point A. So it will, what will be this? So this will be P3 by gamma. Okay, velocity here will be 0. This will be equal to PA by gamma plus Y. Getting this? Okay, P3 by gamma. We are taking this as datum. The datum height is 0 here, is equal to PA by gamma plus Y. Getting this? Okay. Now further we are applying. Now we will apply the Bernoulli's equation between 2 and 3. Between 2 and 3. Okay, now so this will be P2 by gamma plus V2 square by 2G plus Z2, and total this level is what? HS plus Y plus HS plus Y. This is equal to P3 by gamma plus V3 square by 2G plus Z3, which is 0. Okay, and further if there are certain losses, that losses will be taken into consideration, HM. Getting this or not? Okay, now further this can be written as what? So this will be equal to P2 by gamma is equal to P3 by gamma minus HS plus Y minus, so this will be V2 square by 2G minus V3 square by 2G minus of HF. Okay, we are taking minus sign as common. Okay, now further this can be written as, so this will be equal to, now from equation 1 we have what? P3 by gamma is equal to PA by gamma plus Y. Okay, so this will be instead of P3 by gamma we can write it as PA by gamma plus Y. So this will be P2 by gamma is equal to PA by gamma plus Y minus HS minus minus Y minus of V2 square minus V3 square divided by 2G minus HF. Okay, getting this? So this YY will be cancelled out, and finally we will get what? P2 by gamma is equal to PA by gamma minus HS minus of V2 square minus V3 square by 2G minus HF. Okay, so this is the expression. Okay, and one thing is clear from this expression, what? That this P2 by gamma, this since this V2 is greater than V3, as I told you, the velocity here, the kinetic energy here is more, and that kinetic energy is less at this point, at point 3, since V2 is greater than V3. Okay, therefore this P2, since this V2 is greater than V3, that means this whole term is positive term. Okay, so therefore this this P2 by gamma is equal to PA by gamma minus HS minus this positive term. Okay, that means this total pressure will be less than that of the atmospheric pressure. Getting this on? That means this pressure P2 by gamma is nothing but a vacuum pressure. ये यहाँ पर जो pressure मिल रहा है हमको vacuum pressure मिल रहा है. Okay, और इसीलिए this is the reason why we are using the draft tube, because we are getting vacuum pressure at this point, so we are using the draft tube so that that pressure should be equal to the atmospheric pressure, and that's why we are diverging the section so as to reduce the velocity and increase the pressure, and finally the pressure will be equal to the atmospheric pressure. Okay, so this is how draft tube works, as I told you. Now these are the different types of draft tubes. Okay, first is the straight divergent type. Okay, this is the most commonly used draft tube, and the efficiency. Okay, before that I will tell you about the efficiency of the draft tube. Okay, how can you define efficiency? The efficiency of this draft tube is defined as the ratio of actual conversion of kinetic head into pressure head in the draft tube to the kinetic head at the inlet of the draft tube. Getting this? Okay, so what is the efficiency of draft tube? Efficiency क्या होती है? What ideally कितना convert होना चाहिए था to actually कितना वो convert हुआ? That means the ratio of actual conversion of kinetic energy to the ideal conversion of kinetic energy is nothing but efficiency. Obviously there will be certain losses, as I told you, so the actual conversion of kinetic energy will be somewhat less than that of the ideal conversion because of the losses in the draft tube. Okay, so the ratio of actual conversion to ideal conversion of kinetic energy is nothing but the efficiency of draft tube. Okay, so what is the actual conversion of kinetic energy? That is nothing but V2 square minus V3 square by 2G, and the losses are HF minus HF. Getting this? Okay, this is the actual conversion. And what should be the ideal conversion? This should be V2 square minus V3 square by 2G. This should be the ideal conversion of kinetic energy. But actually there are certain losses, so that losses will be deducted here. So this is nothing but the efficiency of the draft tube. Okay, further this HF can be written in the form of the friction factor, suppose K. So suppose K factor is lost because of friction, so this HF will be equal to K into V2 square minus V3 square by 2G. We are considering as a HF as K into V2 square minus V3 square by 2G. So this efficiency will be equal to 1 minus K, okay, into V2 square minus V3 square by 2G divided by V2 square minus V3 square by 2G. Okay, so this will be cancelled out, and efficiency will be equal to 1 minus K. Okay, so this is the efficiency of draft tube. Okay, now coming to the different types of draft tube. The very first type is the straight divergent draft tube, most commonly used draft tube, and the efficiency of this draft tube is most, which is almost equal to 90%. Getting this? Okay, second type is the simple elbow type. Okay, this is like elbow, if you have seen the elbow joints. Okay, so this is simple elbow type, and because of the simple elbow, because there is bend, the efficiency is quite less, and which is around 60%. Okay, and that type is Moody's spreading hydrocone. Okay, so this is this is spreaded into two parts. The water which is coming is actually diverged and spreaded into two parts. Okay, and the efficiency in this Moody's spreading hydrocone is around 85%. Okay, and last is the elbow with cross section changing from circle to rectangle. Initially the cross section was circular, and finally that cross section is changed to rectangle, and efficiency of this is also equal to 85%. Okay, so these are the different types of draft tube. Getting the